years, Vicky hasn't taken too long to grow bored with her fresh face. In a typically teenage gripe, Vicky is upset with the definition of her lips. She wants them to stand out.
The lip line's just going to give me definition as my top lip actually blends into my skin. So it gives me a good outline of my lips and they also stand out. I'm bored with looking at my boring old stuff.
The lip line Vicky is seeking will last day in, day out into her early 20s.
What we're going to do, Vicky, we're going to start right in the middle of the bow in your top lip, and you won't feel anything.
They've come to this Sydney clinic for pigment implantation, dye dug into the skin with a range of needle applicators. There's blood, and if it wasn't for some local anaesthetic for Vicky, there'd of course be a good deal of pain.
Anybody that has full lips, they usually swell up really quite large during the treatment, but within half an hour of finishing the treatment and an ice cube, the swelling goes down and then they can appear just normal again. Just impregnated the colour into your lip line.
Now, it's doubtful these women would even contemplate these changes if the process of pigment implantation had found its way into clumsy marketing hands and was billed as a tattoo procedure. Still, pigment implantation is a tattoo procedure. Jan, Amanda and Vicky simply reconcile that with their view that the changes are subtle and they won't last a lifetime.
Tattooing, they use a different type of ink. They use more like an Indian ink type of product, and they go down deeper into the dermis, which means that they're going right down to the deeper layer and it forms a heavy scab. But with my procedure, it's superficial, and as you break the skin, the colour is absorbed into the tissue, and of course over the years it just gently fades away. Of course you won't have much swelling either, which is good. People can come to me and have their eyebrows created knowing that as they age and their eyebrow may drop a little with the aging process, that in 3 to 5 years it's going to fade out, and then I can lift the eyebrow and create a new eyebrow for them. But if it's tattooed, they're stuck with that for the rest of their life, and as they age, the eyebrow may end up hanging over the eye area. Eyebrows, he said, we've had the best weekend in 40 years, he said, because her having no eyebrows for that length of time has always kept her in front of the mirror. She wouldn't swim, she wouldn't do any sports because she didn't want to be seen without her eyebrows. And she also made a statement, and she said she'd rather answer the door naked than without her eyebrows. So, you know, that's how important it is.
A week later, none of the pigment patients say they regret imposing on their face a feature that will stay for up to 5 years.
It's fabulous, you know. I can put lipstick on and my lips are, you know, they're perfectly shaped and, you know, they don't bleed or anything anymore and they're just perfect.
I haven't had to stay home, been out every day. Makes me feel actually young again. I haven't bothered to put makeup on when I've gone out.
It saves me 15, 20 minutes every day, which is just great, and it looks perfect all the time. It's accentuated the eye perfectly for me.
Makeup that won't wash off, that's staying there for years to save a fiddly moment each morning. But don't throw away your cosmetic kits, at least as long as fashion stays fickle. The complete facial makeover, totally tattooed, will stay out there on the fringe.
Computer games, they're fun when you're sober, but try doing them when you're drunk. That's what the doctors at Sydney's Prince Alfred Hospital are asking of their human guinea pigs in an attempt to determine the effect of carbohydrates on drunkenness.
Intravenously fed the equivalent of 6 middies of beer or 5 nips of scotch, today's human guinea pig, Justin, is getting drunker and drunker.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Very good.
She sells seashells down by the seashore. Seashells, seashells. No.
Go on, say it. Try again.
She sells seashells down by the seashore.
At 0.08 is over the legal limit for any state in Australia and ready to undergo tests to determine how different foods help or hinder the body's elimination of alcohol.
We decided to look at the effects of different kinds of food by giving people a meal that was all carbohydrate or all fat or all protein. And when we did this, we found that really there was no significant effect that we could determine of protein meals or fat meals.
Carbohydrates, however, did have a significant effect. Computer games simulating the skills needed to drive safely, coupled with breath testing and balance tests on the aptly named swayometer, conclusively proved the old eat while you drink adage true.
We found that carbohydrate meals and pure carbohydrates given as a solution can speed up alcohol metabolism.
So if you eat carbohydrate, you get less drunk and you recover more quickly.
You recover sooner, that's right. Instead of taking maybe 3 or 4 hours, it might be 2 or 3 hours.
Aren't you then just confirming popular belief?
I think the advice is pretty much along the lines of what's been traditionally said, that you should take your alcohol with food, particularly if you take something that contains carbohydrate, like potatoes or rice or bread, all these things which are part of a natural meal that you'd normally take anyway.
So a protein-packed steak won't help you outsmart that booze bus. But according to our optimistic researchers, used sensibly, this carbohydrate advice could just be the key to beating that driving under the influence charge.
But before you have a few celebratory beers, consider this. To rid yourself of 6 middies faster, you'd have to scoff 10 or more packets of chips.